going on, guys? This is Burrs. I'm here with Nate Murr, the inventor of the GripStop. Nate, thanks for being here.
No problem.
We're going to talk about sights today, guys. We're going to talk about, we have XS big dot sights, which is like the lollipop, and then we have a set of straight 8s from Heinie. We're talking about Glock sights, or any kind of sights actually, because they make them for all kinds of guns. So Nate, go ahead and tell us a little bit about, the difference between each and the trade-off that you'd have with each one, etc.
Alright, well, since I'm going to be installing the straight 8 sights here on your gun, let's talk about the Glock sights first, right? So Glock uses what is commonly referred to as the ball in the bucket. You have the white dot in the front, you have that little bucket shape painted on the rear sight. So what you want to do is you want to use the profile of the sights. You want to cover and line your front sight with your rear sight with equal amount of dead space between the front sight and each wing of the rear sight. Alright, that's going to give you the best accuracy. However, the ball in the bucket, when you're firing the weapon and you have that muzzle rise, you drop that ball back down into the bucket, and it's a little bit quicker to shoot rapid fire that way, right? But you're always going to have the best accuracy by actually aligning your sights properly. With straight 8s, what you end up with is a very, very small tritium rear orb and a very small tritium front, and what that's going to do is it's going to make you align those two dots. So if you fire the weapon and you start coming back down from the muzzle rise, you're going to just naturally align it so it makes a figure 8. And then you fire again, the front sight is going to rise, come back down, fire, fire, fire. That's the easier system, a much faster system than using 3-dot night sights. Our mind likes to cover and align things. So if this is my front sight, these are the 2 dots in my rear, if I'm over a little bit, my brain's not going to tell me to pull the trigger until it's somewhat where it wants to be like that. So if you actually shoot on a shot timer using straight 8 style sights and then shoot on the same drill, same gun with 3-dot night sights, you'll see that you actually shoot faster, more accurately with straight 8 style sights than 3-dot night sights. But the thing is, the 3-dot night sights, they're what came out originally when night sights first started getting fielded, and that's what people know and trust, and is a system that works for them, and that's perfectly fine if that's the system that you know. But if you haven't tried the straight 8s, it's a little bit faster. Alternatively, you have these guys here, the XS sights, right, where you have a giant front with white outline with tritium core, and then you have that little tritium hash mark in the back, right? So basically what you're going to do is you're just going to make a lollipop. You're going to put the ball on the stick, make it a lollipop, you fire, it comes back down, and it's basically the same concept, but the downside is that that's not very much of a deep rear notch. The XS sights are better for speed than they are for accuracy, which is one of the reasons why I don't like them, because I'm never willing to trade accuracy off for speed. Alright, so let's talk about these XS sights, or I'm sorry, these Heinie sights. So these are the Ledge Pro, right? So you have this ledge that's machined into the rear of the sight, and you can see on my 1911, these are Yost Bonnet's custom sights. It's the same concept. It's a very small tritium orb. Very small tritium orb in my front sight. You guys can see that my front sight is painted with blaze orange nail polish, right? This little trick that Burrs covered on a different video. It draws my attention to my front sight immediately as I start to fire my weapon, right? So the only time I focus on those tritium orbs is in very low light or no light situations whatsoever. And I find that with a weapon mounted flashlight, I have enough splashback off walls of the house or the building that I'm in that I can see the profile of my sights. So I align my sights, I get a good clean, crisp profile of my front sight covered in line with my rear, and that allows me to fire accurately. If I was in a situation where I had to take that proverbial shot in the dark, I would align those 2 dots, and it'd be very quick to acquire and follow up and shoot more if I need to, right? That being said, that ledge right there is going to allow you to rack the slide if you have to do one-arm manipulations off anything. So what you can do is you can rack with that slot there, you can rack it off your belt, you can rack it off your holster, you can rack it off a barricade, right? So that's going to allow you to manipulate the weapon even with just one hand. If you have Novak style sights or sights that don't have a shelf there, then you're not going to be able to do that. The original Glock factory sight, you can do that because there's enough of a ledge, but it's not a very big ledge, and everybody hates the Glock factory sights because they're made out of polymer. I like the guns made out of polymer, but polymer sights generally don't hold up as well, so that's something that you want to change out. So what we're going to do is we're going to install these straight 8s where we have that nice large squared out rear notch, and we have that nice serrated front, and you should be good to go. You're gonna take a look at it after we get it done here. All right, so we got the straight 8s installed here on the Glock. So you can see a little ledge there. You can see that small tritium orb in the rear, a small tritium orb in the front. So what you could do if you wanted to is you could paint your front sight blade blaze orange or neon green or whatever color you want. Do like 3 coats, let it dry, and then take an X-Acto knife and scrape out a little window so you can see the tritium again.
Yeah. Alright, so I see what you're doing there.
Alright, so you can see it. Take X-Acto knife, just scrape it out like that. So, and that's if you want to. If you don't have night sights, it doesn't really matter. I would still paint my blaze orange, my front sight blaze orange, whatever. My buddy Palma, what Palma likes to do is he likes to paint his neon green. It's just about, you know, when the gun starts to come up in your field of view, for you to be able to streak that front sight on the target, right? To get it on target as fast as possible. So, I mean, even though my sights are made by US Bonnets, you know, I don't even think they make them anymore. I've put plenty of straight 8s on my own guns and plenty of customers' guns. It's just really hard to convince people to leave that 3-dot mentality, you know, where everything has to be perfectly covered and aligned. It's like a shell game, like literally with your sights, you know. Like just get rid of one, just boom, boom, boom. It's so much faster and easier. And that's like what they're trying to accomplish with the XS sights too, with that post and that dot. But like I said, you're trading precision for speed because you're just putting that giant dot on that post. You're making a lollipop out of it. You're not going to be able to shoot as quite as accurate as if you're focused on the profile of the sights like you should. So
is there any recommendation you make for that, like XS big dot sights?
They're, like I said, they're good for speed, but you don't have accuracy. I mean, you have a workable amount of accuracy, you know, to hit a silhouette target, a man-sized target, but you shoot this gun at 20, or a gun with these sights at 25 yards, and you shoot this gun with traditional profiled sights at 25 yards, you're going to see a huge difference in accuracy. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to trade accuracy for speed. I mean, if all you're concerned with is shooting 5 yards, then okay, I guess that's good enough for, you know, your application. But what if you have to take a shot further out? You know, what if you have to make a headshot at 25 yards because somebody's got a knife to a girl's throat, or is wearing suicide vests? You know, what are we gonna do? Well, you just traded your sights out for ones that allowed you to hit quicker. So that's not a good trade-off to me. Like I said, I like the ledge. I like the ability to rack my slide one-handed off that rear sight. So it's just a better sight, you know, a better setup.
Yeah, cool. All right, thanks for your time, Nate. See you in future videos.
No problem. Your stupid tape is on the way here.